The morning of December 24th, 2025, brought a chilling revelation to the global intelligence community as North Korea unveiled state-sponsored images of its most ambitious military project to date. Standing within the cavernous, high-security halls of an undisclosed naval shipyard, Jong Un was seen inspecting the massive hull of what is confirmed to be an 8,700-ton nuclear-powered attack submarine. This vessel represents a monumental leap in engineering for a nation long crippled by international sanctions and isolation. Unlike the aging diesel-electric fleet Pyongyang has relied on for decades, this new class of submarine operates with a nuclear heart, allowing it to remain submerged for months without the need to surface for air. The sheer scale of the vessel, which rivals the most advanced attack submarines in the United States Navy, suggests that North Korea has moved beyond experimental prototypes into the realm of high-end strategic warfare. As the world watched the photographs circulate, the message from Pyongyang was unmistakable. The era of coastal defense is over, and the era of deep-sea nuclear projection has begun. This development shifts the tactical balance of power in the Indo-Pacific, forcing neighbors and rivals to reassess the hidden dangers lurking beneath the waves. The construction of an 8,700-ton nuclear submarine is a feat of engineering that requires specialized metallurgy, advanced reactor miniaturization, and sophisticated stealth technology that few nations possess. For North Korea to achieve this milestone suggests a level of domestic industrial resilience that many experts previously thought impossible under current global restrictions. The images reveal a sleek, teardrop-shaped hull designed for high-speed underwater travel and minimal acoustic signature, indicating that North Korean engineers have prioritized silencing the vessel to evade sophisticated sonar networks. Analysts are particularly focused on the propulsion system, as a nuclear reactor provides near-infinite range and the power necessary to operate advanced electronic warfare suites and sonar arrays. The presence of vertical launch tubes integrated into the dorsal section of the hull suggests this submarine is designed not just for reconnaissance, but as a mobile, underwater launch platform for nuclear-tipped cruise and ballistic missiles. This engineering achievement serves as a testament to the North's strategic focus on survivability, ensuring that even if land-based silos are neutralized, their nuclear deterrent remains active and mobile deep within the ocean. The world must now grapple with the reality that Pyongyang's technological reach has successfully bypassed decades of global efforts to stifle its military growth. When military analysts compare North Korea's new submarine to the American Virginia class, they're highlighting a shift from regional harassment to global strategic parity. The Virginia class is the gold standard for stealth and multi-mission capability, and by matching its displacement, North Korea is signaling its intent to operate in the blue water reaches of the Pacific and beyond. An 8,700-ton vessel provides enough internal volume for massive battery banks, advanced life support systems, and a diverse arsenal of torpedoes and long-range missiles. This size allows the submarine to carry enough provisions for a crew to sustain long-duration deployments far from their home ports, potentially reaching the west coast of the United States or the remote waters of the Indian Ocean. This move is a direct response to the increasing presence of U.S. carrier strike groups in the region and the expanding alliance between Washington, Seoul, and Tokyo. By developing a boat of this magnitude, Jong Un is ensuring his Navy can play a game of cat and mouse with the world's most advanced maritime forces. The strategic shadow cast by this vessel extends far beyond the Korean peninsula, fundamentally changing the risk calculus for any naval engagement involving the North Korean state. Standing before the towering steel walls of the submarine's hull, Jong Un's rhetoric was as sharp as the vessel's prow, framing the project as an epoch-making advancement in national defense. He described the nuclear submarine as the best shield for the country's sovereignty, a vital tool to protect the North Korean people from what he perceives as the relentless aggression of imperialist powers. Kim's presence at the shipyard, often accompanied by his daughter, underscores the dynastic importance of this military milestone, framing the submarine as a legacy project for future generations. He emphasized that the possession of a nuclear-powered fleet is no longer a luxury, but a necessity in an age where naval blockades and high-tech surveillance are used as weapons of coercion. His speech served as a rallying cry for the nation's scientists and workers, praising their limitless loyalty in overcoming technical hurdles that would have broken lesser nations. By calling it an epical achievement, Kim is placing this submarine on the same historical plane as the country's first nuclear test or the launch of its first intercontinental ballistic missile. It is a declaration of permanence, asserting that North Korea will never be intimidated and will continue to build the tools of power regardless of the cost. The heart of any nuclear submarine is its reactor, a piece of technology that North Korea has spent years perfecting in the face of immense technical difficulty. Unlike civilian power plants, a naval reactor must be compact, incredibly quiet, and capable of handling the extreme stresses of underwater maneuvers and rapid depth changes. Intelligence agencies believe that North Korea may have leveraged its experience with the experimental light water reactor at Yongbyon to develop this naval variant. A successful nuclear propulsion system eliminates the snorkeling requirement of diesel engines, which is the moment a submarine is most vulnerable to detection by aircraft and satellites. By mastering the nuclear core, Pyongyang has solved the problem of endurance, allowing their boats to stay hidden in the deep ocean trenches where sonar coverage is spotty and thermal layers provide a natural cloak. This technical breakthrough also provides the high electrical output needed to power future directed energy weapons or advanced sensor suites that could detect incoming torpedoes. The integration of this reactor into the 8,700-ton hull suggests a mature design cycle, implying that the North has moved past the phase of trial and error and is now entering a period of serial production for its new nuclear navy. The unveiling of the nuclear submarine has sent shockwaves through the Blue House in Seoul, where officials are now facing a heightened security dilemma. South Korea has long sought its own nuclear-powered submarine capability, but has been constrained by diplomatic agreements and nuclear non-proliferation treaties with the United States. Kim Jong Un specifically targeted these ambitions in his recent remarks, calling South Korea's pursuit of similar technology an offensive act that threatens the peace of the region. This hypocrisy is a calculated move to drive a wedge between Seoul and Washington, questioning why the South should be denied the same defensive tools that the North is now flaunting. The South Korean military is now under intense pressure to upgrade its anti-submarine warfare capabilities, including the deployment of more advanced P-8 Poseidon maritime patrol aircraft and the development of more sensitive underwater sensor nets across the maritime border. The arms race on the peninsula has transitioned from the air and land into the depths of the sea, where the stakes are higher and the margins for error are razor-thin. As the North moves closer to sea trials, the South must decide whether to accelerate its own nuclear naval program or rely even more heavily on the American nuclear umbrella. The true value of a nuclear submarine lies in its invisibility, and the North Korean design appears to incorporate several features aimed at reducing its acoustic signature. Analysts have noted the presence of an anechoic coating on the hull, rubber-like tiles designed to absorb sonar waves rather than reflecting them back to a hunter-killer submarine. Furthermore, the use of a pump jet propulsor instead of a traditional propeller would significantly reduce cavitation, the phenomenon where bubbles created by spinning blades create a distinct noise that can be tracked from miles away. For a nation like North Korea, which lacks a global network of naval bases, the ability to remain undetected is the only way to ensure their fleet survives the first hours of a conflict. If this submarine can successfully navigate out of the Sea of Japan and into the open Pacific without being detected by the green line of sensors maintained by the U.S. and Japan, it will represent a total failure of current containment strategies. The art of underwater invisibility is a game of decibels, and Pyongyang is betting that its new 8,700-ton behemoth is quiet enough to disappear into the background noise of the world's oceans, waiting for the command to strike. A striking aspect of the official photographs was the prominent placement of Kim Joo-ae, the young daughter of the North Korean leader, standing beside him as he inspected the submarine's massive components. Her presence at such a high-stakes military event is more than just a family outing. It is a carefully choreographed signal regarding the future of the Kim dynasty. By associating the next generation of leadership with the country's most advanced nuclear assets, the regime is projecting an image of long-term stability and continuity. It tells the world and the North Korean people that the nuclear program is not a temporary bargaining chip, but a permanent pillar of the state that will be guarded by the Kim family for decades to come. Analysts believe this is intended to solidify her status among the military elite, showing that she has the authority and the interest to oversee the most sensitive aspects of national security. As the submarine takes shape, so too does the narrative of a nuclear Korea that will persist long after the current leadership. The image of the young girl looking up at the 8,700-ton weapon of war serves as a potent symbol of Pyongyang's commitment to its chosen path of military defiance. While the images show a hull that is largely complete, the path from a shipyard floor to a fully operational combat vessel is long and fraught with peril. Experts estimate that the submarine will likely be launched for initial sea trials within the next 12 to 24 months. This period is critical, as it is when the reactor will be brought to full power for the first time and the hull will be subjected to the crushing pressures of deep-water dives. Any flaw in the welding or the cooling systems could lead to a catastrophic failure, a risk that North Korea must manage carefully to avoid a public relations disaster. During sea trials, the vessel's speed, maneuverability, and noise levels will be closely monitored by regional intelligence agencies using satellite imagery and underwater hydrophones. This phase will also involve testing the integration of the weapon systems, ensuring that the vertical launch tubes can safely eject missiles while the boat is submerged. The world will be watching closely for the moment the dry dock is flooded, marking the transition of this project from a static display of intent into a living, breathing threat. The countdown to the first dive has begun, and the results will determine the true extent of North Korea's maritime power. The emergence of North Korea's 8,700-ton nuclear-powered submarine marks the beginning of a new and more dangerous chapter in international relations. This vessel is not merely a piece of military hardware. It is a mobile piece of North Korean territory that can carry nuclear destruction to any corner of the globe. The presence of such a weapon forces the international community to recognize that the strategy of strategic patience and economic sanctions has failed to prevent Pyongyang from achieving its ultimate military goals. As this silent hunter prepares to join the fleet, the risk of miscalculation at sea increases exponentially, as naval commanders must now account for a ghost in the water that could be anywhere at any time. The global maritime order, once dominated by a few established powers, is being disrupted by a rogue actor with nothing to lose and everything to gain from underwater dominance. This submarine is a reminder that technology and determination can overcome even the most rigorous isolation. As we look toward the horizon, the deep blue sea no longer offers a barrier of safety, but a hidden corridor for a new kind of nuclear threat that is quiet, enduring, and ready to strike at the heart of the world.